Hello awesome people of YouTube, welcome back to game number 4. This is going to be Elazer versus PtitDrogo on Runes of Seras. Now this is going to be a ZvP, Zerg versus Protoss, which I hope you guys enjoy. I actually really enjoy this matchup, probably more than the other ones, and that is simply because I like to see how the Zerg manages to combat the huge Protoss armies. Now, in case you have missed them, I will be having the previous links for the first 3 games up on the top of this video. Please, if you haven't seen them, do click on those. You will be able to be watching it from the very beginning, and that is very important. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Now, if you're one of those people that watches my channel without subscribing, please click that subscribe button. You're going to be able to see all of my videos as soon as they're up, and it's going to be also beneficial to myself and helping my channel grow. Does look like we have a early hatchery coming out here. Of course, something you definitely expect from pretty much every player because it's so hard to rush on this map. You'd always expect this to be the case. So a Nexus also coming down, not expecting any Zerglian aggression. Starting off with like a 12 or 14 pool here would be absolutely silly. Definitely something you don't really want to see. Now there we go, a spawning pool coming down after one base. Now quite often you'd actually see a double expand here at the very beginning, here or here actually. And it really is dependent really on whether you scout out your opponent very quickly to see what's going on, which unfortunately Elazer did not manage to do since the Protoss player is not here. Now it does look like PtitDrogo is going to be going out with his probe in the wrong direction also, but he's probably going to get the scout out on the second attempt, which is quite alright. Does give him that scout about 10-15 seconds earlier than if it was the third base. Does look like he's starting off with double gas at the very beginning. I wonder, is he going to start off differently? Because as you can see here, he started with a Nexus into double gateway and then into cybernetics core. I wonder, is he going to do anything different in this game? Because in the last games he's just started off with double adepts at the very beginning, which is quite effective versus Zerg, particularly because the only early aggression you're going to possibly see is Zerglings, and adepts are very good against them, two-shotting them pretty much every time. There we go, the probe is now going to be able to spot this base. These Zerglings are going to run by, not too worried about killing off this probe. And it's going to take quite a while to catch up to it, but as the Zergling does go onto the creep, going to be a lot faster here. Take it out very quickly. Metabolic boost is only a little bit on the way at the moment, so still a while off. So this probe probably going to get taken out before it makes it back to the base, but obviously we are going to see how that goes out. Now just a note, if moving in a very straight line, a probe does manage to start regenerating its shields, but typically it won't be able to regenerate enough to keep up with the Zergling. Now it does seem like this probe is particularly fast, so he's managing to actually stay alive every time the Zergling catches up. But normally, when the Zergling is chasing it, it actually doesn't quite work out this way. So a lucky probe here, managing to survive. Maybe Blizzard slightly tweaked the movement speed of probes so that, or Zerglings even, so that the Zerglings are not able to kill it without speed. Now starting off the block off with the pylon here, gonna take a while to get this wall up here. Now as you can see here, a Stargate is already being built, bringing an Oracle out of it on this occasion. So the Oracle is of course there to do both scouting and economic damage, particularly economic damage. Voiders tend to more often go for Overlords, whereas... Ooh, this is interesting now. So these two adepts are going to be back here to defend. The Zerglings do back off. And there we go, the Oracle is now on the way. Now I do believe that Elazer is not spotted this, of course. He hasn't seen anything inside the main base. Does have one Overlord here, but that's not really going to be doing that much of a favor for him. The only thing he'll really be able to see is this pylon. Now let's see how much damage this Oracle manages to do. Now the energy very quickly ticks down when he uses the overcharge ability to be able to attack. Now 4 drones taken out, and he's going to have to back on out a little bit. Now just a note, sometimes it really depends if you're going to attack very shortly after or not. The energy on an Oracle, it costs 25 to activate the beam, and then after that it's just ticking down very quickly. It's about 2 or 3 energy per second. Now this block has already been completed. A very wonky block though, it's just pylons. I mean, if he destroys these 4 pylons, at that point PtitDrogo has lost the game. If right now he had a bunch of roaches, he destroyed these 4 pylons, the game would be over instantaneously. Reason for that is because if you look at his supply right now, he is 8 under supply. That means 1 pylon supply caps him, or blocks him. And then those 3 pylons would essentially put him miles under the cap. So a bit of a risky move. But of course, Elazer does not know that that was the case. Here we go with 2 oracles here right now. Going to be a bit menacing here. Spine Crawler has been put down. That's going to have to be cancelled, otherwise it's going to get wasted. And I'm not sure if this is the best idea for him to be focusing down a Spore Crawler. He's really committing to it though. He really wants this to be killed. There we go. Look at that. Managed to take out 2 drones. The energy going to be ticking down very, very quickly. He's trying to bait the drones towards the Spore Crawler. And there we go. Does manage to put it down now. Any further interaction from the oracles will result in one of them getting killed. Potentially even 2. Zerg goes in here just to do a bit of scouting. Does manage to do just that. Is aware of the 3rd base right now. Now this Chrono Boost is getting a little bit wasted. Would probably be better off using that on the upgrade here for the Zealot legs. There we go. Just about doing that as I call it. So very, very good here. Looking at supply, PtitDrogo is actually equal on supply to Elazer, which is something he wants to be on at least. He never wants to let the Zerg push too far ahead, because then he will just overrun you altogether. A lot of gateways being produced. Is that 9 gateways being produced? Holy crap! 9 gateways on the way. This is going to be an insane ground push from PtitDrogo. Once he gets this base fully saturated with gas also, he's going to be in such a good position. Probably going to get a bunch of those Archons out again. Do we have? Yes, we do have a Temper Archives on the way. So definitely going to be building a bunch of Archons very shortly out of these gateways. And at this point, Elazer is going to be in deep trouble if he doesn't expand very quickly, which he is doing, and build up a massive force. So looking at the production tab, there's 4 Hydralisks on the way. Not really that significant. They do get destroyed by Archons very quickly, but at the same time Archons do a lot of damage to them as well. I believe it's 3-shotting them as well as the splash damage. So let's look at the... Sorry, that's the wrong thing. Army supply is currently 70 to 83, so it does look like PtitDrogo is warping in units that are going to make him a little bit ahead. Oh, that's going to be a lot of Archons. 2 being warped in already. 3rd one on the way. At this point he is a little bit higher. There's a lot of Zealots here, something you never really see. Now just to note, there was a lot of probes taken out here. Didn't actually spot that until a little bit too late. So a total of 15. I think he's going to get that 16th one as well. There we go, 16 in total. So that was quite significant. PtitDrogo definitely wants to punish this in some form of way. Let's see how he manages that. Now looking at this is actually quite a big concave here. I do believe the Zerg player is going to be able to do quite significant damage. The only advantage that PtitDrogo has is this Archon is just going to town right now on these clumped up Zerg units. And look at that, he does eventually manage to defend off against this. All of the reinforcements from the Zerg is starting to become quite significant here. Look at all these units. The economic advantage right now, or not the economic, the supply advantage is huge. These 2 Archons are just barely alive. They're very fragile once their shields are broken. So if he does continue with this, he will end up fighting quite to his own advantage here. There's not that many units remaining for PtitDrogo. Whereas Elazer, he's in such a good position right now with a huge command in supply. Let's have a look at the income there. We do have the Protoss Protoss player almost halved income. Once this is going to get saturated, he's going to of course catch up a little bit. But this base already fully saturated as well. Does have a 5th base on the way. Now one thing to note, Ruins of Seras is pretty damn known for me right now as having all of the longest games possible. It seems that players are so cautious here, and obviously they want to be cautious. It's a tournament game. They don't want to be overcommitting to things in case they lose. but it seems that all the long games come on from here, and some of my favorites so far have been between Nurtio and Showtime, and also there was one between Bly and somebody else I can't quite remember, but those games, wow, they were pretty damn amazing, and I hope that this turns out into one of those games. There's actually probes getting killed here. Does look like it's roaches. There's no detection here at the moment. Now, I assume he has some observers. Where's the observer? Oh my god, the observer is halfway across the map, so these roaches are going to be free to do whatever the hell they want. 5 more probes taken out here. So that's 5 in total. There we go, back to attacking here. Going to be able to do more and more damage. More zealots being warped in. And GG is called. PtitDrogo not being able to handle this. Just free roaching. Doesn't have enough defenses against him or vision against him. And that's very well played by Elazer. And there we go, we have a 2-2 at the moment for Elazer and PtitDrogo, managing to catch up. Very, very good play here, managing to harass quite a lot with those roaches inside the natural base of PtitDrogo. So that's pretty much it. We're going to move on to game number 5 next, which is going to be the final game of the series, and I am super excited to see how that turns out. This is, as I said, the last game of the HomeStory Cup 12. My social media details are on the right hand side here. If you want to subscribe, please click the annotation right underneath my face, and I'll see you guys in game number 5.